Hello everyone and welcome to Business Analysis Demo. There are a lot of people who are looking for a business analysis jobs and or they want to get into a business analysis. So let's look at how this can be done or how people can become a business analyst. So we have a few agenda topics which talks about introduction to business analysis, then what is a business analysis, what are the prerequisites to become a business analyst, what are the topics that will be covered in a workshop, and what after the completion of the workshop, what are the activities that individual has to do, and what are the workshop timings that we do follow. So coming to the introduction of the Pearl solution, so we have established with a vision where we plan to train the individuals who are looking out for a job in a respective fields like in a business analysis, a scrum master, product owner, testing, SQL from the database side, and a Power BI Tableau from the visualization side or the project management. So anyone who's looking into these courses and who wants to get into a software field, so we are the one who can help them get the job. So we have an experienced instructors with us who has an hands-on experience and who has placed a number of people with a proven track record. Our workshop timings are flexible and we are the one who are reliable and very affordable in terms of the pricing. Getting into the business analysis now, as a part of standard definition of business analysis, it is a practice of enabling a change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. So, in the simpler terms, business analysis professions are capable of understanding the business problems or the pain points of the clients or the business. They usually interact with them, get that information that what do they want, and then after getting the information, the business analyst will brainstorm among the stakeholders and try to identify the solution to the problem. And once that is identified, then the business analyst will guide the development team like how to develop it, test it, and once it is done, the business analyst will verify them and demonstrate the finally built software to the business or the client and delivers finally within the timelines and the budget. Now, to become a business analyst, what is it is required? So there is a lot of speculations, questions, queries like, can I become business analyst? So let's look at the prerequisites now. So any bachelor's degree should be good to become a business analyst. You be a fresher or an experienced, it should work. It should not be a problem. Then you come up from the IT background or the non-IT background. So both are fine to become a business analyst. Decent communication skills, you should have a very good patience, focus on what you are hearing, listening, and what you are doing. Okay, your zeal to learn, you should have the ability to generate new ideas which you're gonna learn in the workshop, and you should be ready to upgrade your skills from time to time. So these are the prerequisites to become a business analyst, and most of them are you already have, but in case if you don't have, we can get it done in terms of skills. So once we start the workshop, so we are have a 4 days of workshop, and in this 4 days we will be covering n number of topics, whereas the first topic on a day one is like a basics introduction to a software field, like there can be people from a non-IT or IT but still don't know how does the software environment works. So we start with the introduction to business analysis, then background about the IT projects, how many different types of companies are there. There is a product based company, there is a service based company, how do they operate, and what is the role of a business analyst within these companies, what are his roles and responsibilities, who are his teams. We can talk in a project team, then as a business analyst what we will be doing, how we'll take care of the requirements, what are our responsibilities will be from project to project or domain to domain. Okay, so then we're going to learn about the different types of requirements within the project and how to manage the stakeholders within a project from end to end. Then we talk about some project basics like what is a scope, what is a scope creep, and within an organization, how you have to adjust yourself, what will be your surroundings, what are the FAQs that you have to know so that you can survive in an industry. Then, what are the challenging areas of a business analyst and how you can overcome them. Then, some real time scenarios for your practical knowledge. And we have different phases of a project as well. So, if a project is coming to a company, then how does this project comes? How the companies acquire those project? What is the process followed? All these things will be discussed in a day one, and this is completely a general knowledge for the day one. So it's all about the basics that we learn on a day one. If you look at the project team, so here we can see there's an IT company, which is a composition of a project team, the top management, then the HR team, and there is a composition of a project team which consists of again the product owner, product manager, then the business analyst, then the development team, then the testing team, then the network team. So all of them belongs to an IT company. So whenever a project is coming from the client who can be internal external to the organization, now this client will give a project to the IT company which initially goes to the project management team, and project management team will assign that project to the project team, and from there onwards the project team will start communicating with the client in organization. There can also be a third parties because they can be dependent on the third party services like in a payments, so those services will be taken by them, and altogether the project team collaboratively works with the client or the business along with the third parties in sync with the IT company rules and regulations, and thereby delivering the project. We can talk more about these project team structure and the deliverables of each and every individuals in detail in the workshop on day one. Moving on to the day two. So day two starts with a little bit technical side of the business analyst. So we'll start with the unified modeling language. What is this unified modeling language? It's basically one of the tools that a business analyst will use. And what are the types of UML? So what are the use cases? Then the sample case studies like how we can build a UML with respect to a case study. So getting into the details of a case study. So we will drill down, we'll explain, and then we will make sure that you understand everything along with the pitfalls. So where we usually make wrong decisions, where we slip the requirements, where we forget the requirements, where we ignore the requirements. So all those things will be discussed during the case study explanation. So we also make you understand the complexity of the requirements and how to make sure that the requirements are in sync, they are not missed out, and how we communicate everything with the stakeholders, keep the transparency in the project. And we also have a number of case studies for your practice, and we also explain how to write the document. So for a business analyst, writing the document is one of the most important tasks and on the project. So there are n number of documents, and out of n number of documents, BRD and FRD stands as a business requirement document and the functional requirement document. How are we gonna write them? What is the format of it? How does it change from organization to organizations? How to make sure that we document everything? So all these things will be discussed on a day two. So since the business analyst owns the requirement, we also should know how to test or verify the requirement. So we also help the testing team how to write the test cases and how to verify the requirements. So these are the topics that are going to be covered in our day two, which again the focus will be more on the requirements, requirement gathering, analysis, documentation, verification, and interacting with the team. So as we move on a day three, it's more about the tools and techniques that will be used by a business analyst in his routine day-to-day BA life. So the tools like a Visio, which is used to draw the diagrams, Valspring, which is again used to draw the prototypes or a mock-ups. We have different tools where we'll be sharing you those tools, and we'll make you practice those tools by explaining how those are done. And there are n number of BA techniques which will be used on a project. So you'll be learning about those techniques, and Change requests. So change requests are common in a project, and if a change request are coming, then how does a business analyst should handle them with perfectly, and how to manage the requirements is all done on a day three. The one of the other important topic that we'll be frequently hearing in software environment is about the agile. So gone are the traditional project management ways. Now Agile has make its way into the software companies, and almost every company is using Agile. So we'll also learn what is the Agile, what is the Agile methodology, what are the models under it, and Agile Scrum methodology or models. Okay, so we're gonna learn all about this. We also gonna learn about Agile values and principles. There are four values and 12 principles. We learn how the Scrum model work and how does your team fits into the Scrum model. What are the core roles, non-core roles? What are the Scrum ceremonies, meetings, and the how to deal with the projects in agile environment. So we're going to take one practical example, one case study, and then we try to make sure that how these are driven from end to end only in the agile environment. Coming to the tools, as I said, n number of tools are there, and similarly in an agile environment, we have n number of tools. So how to make sure that we use them in agile environment. All these things we'll be learning on day three. So this is an example of a visual diagram where this more looks like an flow chart where how a user is trying to interact with the system. So this is a simple application login system where the user will open the website or the application, and then if user have an account, yes, then yes. Do you remember the password? Yes, then you try to log in, then the details are valid. If yes, then user logged in successfully, and there the stuff flows. So what we discussed just now is a positive flow. That means users trying to log in and he has logged in successfully is one of the flow. But there can be n number of other flows which we need to focus or think at the time of software development. Assume that you don't have an account, then you need to register yourself. So there's a registration process, and then you try to log in successfully. So if you don't remember username and password, then you try to recover them. So this is that process, and then after you recover successfully, then you try to log in. So if you see this, a simple requirement where we are thinking as a business analyst, we are thinking of n number of scenarios, and all those scenarios are kept in one place, then this is how the system should behave in real time. Now this is one of the small example that you're going to learn in our workshop. And moving on, so this is again a mock-up, one of the mock-up like an so since now what we have seen is a flow diagram, but when we built a software, how does it appear actually? So we can see here. So we were talking about that login process. Now assume that this is a system and then user is trying to log in, but if he forgets the password, then this is a procedure. If he is not a registered user, then he can register from here. Okay, so all these things and more to this you can learn in our workshop. Coming to the day four is very important where it's a complete learning of the software development life cycle. So there are 10 different phases within a project, and each phase, what activities will happen, and as a business analyst, what is your role, what are the other roles that you will be interacting, what are the inputs and outputs of each phase is what we're going to learn in a software development life cycle. We're going to work on a real-time case study on day four, and then we're going to drill down into the case study, and then we again try to understand the requirements, try to prepare the document. And there can be some cases where you guys will be working on a project and come up with some kind of a presentation with respect to flow diagrams or the mock-ups, and you followed by your questions and queries. So once you're done with an workshop, so we're gonna give you that how to build that resume and workshop activities. After you're completed, then what you have to do. Okay, so four post workshop activities will be, we will be giving you a case studies where you will be trying to understand that information, or you just act like a business analyst where you gather the information, then you do the analysis, then you do the flow charts, diagrams, write BRD documents, FRD documents, prepare those documents, and then focus on a resume preparation. Then we're gonna guide you with some common questions in the interviews, and we're gonna conduct some mock-up interviews try to do the corrections, like where you are failing, where you are good, where you are not good, so that you can again go back and then make sure that you have learned from those mistakes, and a follow-ups will be done and support will be provided post workshop. So these are all topics will be covered in a workshop, and if you're interested, so we have a flexible workshop timing. So we have a weekend batches, so which is again a 4 days training, but it's flexible. So weekend batches will be conducted on Saturdays and Sundays, starting from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with some biological breaks. And if you have opted for a daily batch, then daily training, it can be of 1 to 2 hours. Again, are flexible on the timings. Okay. If you want to contact us, yes, you can contact us admin@pearlsolutions.net. You can WhatsApp or call us at the provided number, or you can visit our website for more information. So hope you liked our business analysis demo. So any questions and queries, do reach out to us. Thank you so much. Bye.